happy hour is from 4 to 6.
Miss Kennedy, would you get me a medium dry vodka martini?
What is
Shaken, not stirred.
Hold on. I'm not hearing it right. Hold on. We got it now.
Is there alcohol in this?
Oh, God, honey, no. What kind of mother do you think I am? Why do you want a little bit? Because if you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it in the house.
Make it Suntory time.
Hello, happy Halloween. Welcome.
Hello.
We have a great panel today. I'm Zatanna for Halloween. I'm not fully ready for the evening, but I just wanted to get a little bit into costume to have some spooky fun. And Max is Hugh Hefner.
Coming at you from the past.
Yes. So anyway, we're going to have a great show. We have a great panel. 2 out of my 3 guests are here. My third guest will arrive whenever she can because there's no stress and there's no rush because it's Halloween and everything should be fun. So to start off, I'm going to invite my dear friend Mika from Double Feature Podcast. And I want to also say I brought people on that I find are really great horror experts because I thought that would be a really smart thing to do. So I'm going to bring her on.
Hey.
Hola.
Hello.
Hey. Yeah, I did a costume today. I don't know if you saw the movie with Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson, but I did a little Janet Jackson.
Oh, very cool. Love it.
I remember that cover.
Very fun. Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, but I'm going to get KB in here first. And KB loves movies. He has a great channel. One of his segments that he does ongoing, it's called The Conversation. He asks the 5 takes, and really great show, really informative. And he is also a lover of everything spooky. So I'm going to bring him on.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey.
I wasn't a horror expert before. I am after this month.
Oh yeah, KB.
Yes,
and everyone tonight.
Every single day.
Yes, love that.
Awesome.
He's been bringing on a lot of horror experts for his channel, so that's been really fun.
That's awesome.
Yes. So we are. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Mika?
Oh no, I was going to say that you have to rest for November now, KB.
I know, but no rest of the wicked.
Intense.
Absolutely. So I know Caprice is going to be joining us. Draculina. She's just heading home from work. But I would love for both of you to introduce yourselves. I know I did a kind of a half-ass introduction, so I'd love for you both to introduce yourselves to the chat, and then maybe we'll go to the chat for a little bit, and then we'll start getting into everything. So I guess we'll start with Mika. I'm going to put you on solo just for now, too.
Ooh. Oh, hey everyone. Well, I'm Mika, one half of Double Feature Podcast. Our podcast is me and my twin sister Kira. We've been we're trying to get consistent, you guys. The full time is just really a lot, but we do a audio podcast, and we're gonna hopefully get more videos where we just talk about all things film. So all genres we pretty much love. So you can follow us at Double Feet Podcast on Instagram and also on YouTube to follow us along.
Fantastic. And I do have everyone's information in the description. If you haven't subscribed, I just saw briefly someone just subscribed to Draculina because they're subscribed to both of you. So that's great. We gotta fill in the, get everyone subscribed to everyone. So now we'll let KB do a little intro about him.
Sure. KB loves movies. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, on the YouTube channel, as Tracy mentioned before, most of my content there is conversation, and basically it's just having conversations with other movie lovers. And we are finishing up 31 conversations in 31 days tonight with Tony from Basement Blues. So after you check out this stream and maybe commute home or commute from your happy hour or work or whatever it is, check me out. We should be on at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel. And I'm going to at least take a few days off from making content, so taking a horror break.
That's fantastic. And I don't know if anyone in the chat doesn't know Tony's Basement Blues, but he has one of the craziest collections I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So, I mean, someone needs to do a documentary on that. My goodness.
I know. Awesome. Yeah.
Let's hit this chat.
Yeah, we're going to hit the chat a little bit. We have Tyler Wolf. Now that I finally have a day to sit down and watch live. What's up? Hello,
What is
Tyler.
up?
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
Tyler.
usually working, so it's very, very kind. View with Drew. Hey.
What up? What up?
Good news. Got my Blu-ray copy of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 yesterday. One day ahead of its official October 31st release.
Ooh.
Very cool. Did you guys see Mission Impossible?
Oh no, I'm still bad with that.
That's
Yeah, I don't know.
why I
You know
said-
what? It's so weird. I have a thing with Tom Cruise. You know how you have some actors who just bother you for some reason? I don't know, but I'm gonna watch that movie though, because I did hear I still have to watch the Top Gun one because I heard that was excellent, the newest one. Yeah.
Get on it.
It's funny you
Love
say
it.
that because I had the same issue with Tom Cruise for a really long time. Like, I really love his stuff in the 80s and early 90s. And then, like, for a while, I just was kind of turned off by him. And it wasn't until I saw Top Gun that kind of made me be like, okay, like, I what are you going to do? It's,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he
I
does
will.
really care. So,
Yeah, I'll try to. I gotta watch it. I heard good things. Yeah.
well, Max was making a joke. He was like, so you're the reason why it didn't do well at the box office.
People are like, I'll get around it.
Lovely. Cool. Beats the version I watched yesterday. Some scenes felt like they were trimmed. I'm not sure.
What is Bates?
The version. I wonder if that's Mission Impossible he's referring to. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Cool.
Oh, it beats the version.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Dilated Entertainment. Hey, yo. Holly
Hey.
Notes. Hey. Happy
Holly.
Let's see
Halloween.
all these faces.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hi.
Tyler says, beats what I got on now.
Oh, okay. Got it. Always fun seeing what everybody chooses to watch for Halloween. Absolutely. And we are going to be getting
been
into
a
that for sure
wild
with
month.
these lovely guests. Yes. Hey, all Wilkie's Movies and Music. Thanks so much
Hey,
for
Corey.
joining. And then just a little Hey Mika and KB.
What is
And then this is what I was referring to earlier. Drew finally, not finally. There's no rush to subscribe to anyone, but
all.
he subscribed to Draculina. So I wanted to ask both of you just to start, and we're not going to really go into this that much, but it is kind of a phenomenon what happened this weekend with Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, did both of you see the film, or you're going to, or you don't care?
Yeah, I watched it.
And what is your opinion, KB?
No desire. That's
Okay.
Oh, no,
that's a genre and a target audience that hasn't been me for at least a couple of decades. So no interest. I got too many other movies. I got a wall of Criterion movies.
all the criterion. Yeah.
So,
Right. Big diff.
No, I
they're
understand.
all behind that light right there.
God, yeah. What a great collection.
Totally understand. I mean, I think it was like 75% of the people that saw it were 25 and younger. It is, I mean, I didn't know anything about the game prior to the movie. And then afterwards I like went on YouTube and I just saw it's just been this huge phenomenon with, Gen Alpha and Gen Z.
Very young.
I mean, I think the production value was pretty good. I thought the animatronics looked fantastic. And I think it's like what you saw in the trailer
Real.
was like why I was like interested, but it was definitely more for a younger audience.
Oh yeah, we watched it. I have to pull my letterbox. I didn't score it too high, but yeah, I thought like you agreed with the production and everything. I watched it streaming. It was okay. I thought pretty good.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and that's a great point that you brought up. You watched it stream because I mean $80 on for the weekend and the same day. I mean, unheard of. Crazy.
I think we're going to see that a lot more when they can't really project how a movie will do. They're going to do it, same day release. But if they just did theater, I could have seen them easily going over 100 for opening weekend. But
it is big.
Yeah, it has very similarities to what happened with the Super Mario Brothers movie, I'd say. It's just Super Mario Brothers, I think, since that's been popular since the 80s, I think that, has a much larger demographic. Yes. But anyway, we definitely want to get into some spooky fun. I'd love to know from both of you something that you watched this month that was new, that you hadn't seen, that was, a scary movie, horror film. That and maybe you haven't, maybe they were all rewatches, and if you need time to think about it, that's fine, but I can tell KB's like nope.
I got a list.
I had to pull up my letterbox because we usually always watch one film a day, you know what I mean, but usually for October we did a lot of October. Every October, we do a lot of the same films because I kind of have my niche for the month. But we did have some unexpected new ones, so I had to pull it up just so I can remember. Because sometimes I don't even remember what you watch.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm the same way. I always have to have my letterbox because otherwise, like, I'm so glad I track it. Because if people just asked me all the time, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a movie in my life. So,
and I actually we really got invested in the letterbox because we had it for a while, but. Don't ask us if we were consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm trying to be better with it now.
I was terrible this month because I was just at one point it just felt like I was just consuming horror movies. Every guest up to 5 titles, some rewatches, some new ones. So it was just like, I'm editing in the day and I have a rewatch going on the other screen or on the big screen in there, and it's like. I started in August, so I'll be fair. But there's a couple that really hit me this month for sure. First time watchers.
Yeah. I think one that's fun. It wasn't really scary, but I thought it was really fun. And this was streaming Totally Killer. Did you guys see that one?
The 80s one.
Yeah. It had like 80s Back to the Future vibes. That one was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. I actually watched it twice. So I thought that was a fun one. I'm not sure if you guys were able to check that one out.
It's been on our list. It looks really fun.
The Amazon original?
Yeah, Amazon. Yep, Amazon.
Yeah.
I
know you liked No One Will Save You as well.
Oh yes, that's one of my favorite of the year. I think I top my top so far is Talk to Me, No One Will Save You, and Cobweb. I think those for horror movies would probably be my 3 favorites so far. And I love the sci-fi too, with No One Will Save You. Yeah, those would probably be my top 3. But that was great, and for no dialogue too, limited dialogue, it was just great. I would have loved to see that in the big screen.
Yeah, I think I said it during my conversation, but I really think they missed out on an opportunity for the second year in a row. I mean, last year they missed out on putting Prey on the big screen. And then this year, same thing with No One Will Save You. They could have had 2 big hits on their hands, but
Is it Disney behind those?
It's Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, it's
essentially
20th century films. So both of them are Disney.
Oh, they're upper echelon tier.
Yeah.
But they're not the best decision makers either. So.
Yeah, and I think KB, what you said, that's what they kind of run in this thing about. Are you going to have the butts in the seats? Because then you see these films they don't put in the theaters. They're so successful with streaming. It's like you don't know really where to go in terms of do you release it or not.
And I think part of it is word of mouth, which I mean, once upon a time, that's how movies became popular. Just like word of mouth or whatever. We kind of lost that, but now streaming has it. I mean, you and Kira have turned me on to so many different shows and movies just because of that word of mouth, through the podcast, whatever. So now we have the shift from movies to streaming services, and they're the ones that are really getting people to get their eyes on different services and different movies and stuff like that. Shows as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought up, because I didn't realize they were all connected to Disney, because I think one of the dumbest things Disney did this year was put Haunted Mansion out in like July. Like, what'd you think that should have been?
Yeah.
October?
It's like
So-
the Mother's Day 4K in October.
Yes.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
So great picks. And now I'm glad you were saying that also, Mika, that there's always like one film that you watch consistently every year. Is there, do both of you have those for the Halloween season?
Yeah. So I always watch, and it's usually up to Halloween. So Halloween, of course, tonight I'm always going to watch my OG Halloween. And the KB knows it's Halloween 1978 and Alien, which are my favorite horror movies. They like kind of tied, but I watch that one always on Halloween. Usually Hallows Eve. I do Hocus Pocus,
Oh,
and
nice.
and then I do Practical Magic before that. So those three, they have good like Halloween vibes for me. You know, family fun. You know, atmosphere, like the themes with Halloween and just good slasher. So those always three run that sequence.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Last night, Devil's Night, I did The Crow, which you got to do The Crow on Devil's Night. But
That's a good one.
I'm with Mika on Halloween. I don't care who's ringing my bell, who's not. 78 Halloween got to go on.
Yeah.
And normally it's some one of the sequels, H2O or Halloween 2. Last year it was 2018. But this year I have my daughter, and she wants to finally see Sam in Trick or Treat. So we're going to and Trick or Treat.
Max is obsessed with Sam.
Perfect.
Me too.
Sam. I love Sam. Yeah, I got my little Sam.
Oh my god.
I'm going to see if I don't drop all my lights. Let's see. The lights are going to fall.
Uh-oh.
Lights are falling.
Oh,
And movies.
worth it.
So cute.
That's great. Too
Oh,
good.
cool. Yeah, I love Sam. He's so cute.
I saw like 2 or 3 years ago, the director said he's waiting for the sequel to be greenlit, and I'm like, that's like the easiest choice as a studio to make. You know, that movie was direct to DVD. Now there's an entire section at the Spirit Halloween store devoted to it. So it's like it's an instant moneymaker.
Yeah, great brand.
Yeah. He does have his own section. I got me a plushie too. He's so
Aw.
cute. Oh, he's so cute.
That's so cute.
Good
Well,
collectible.
as far as new stuff, we also watched Cobweb. Mika, did you see Cobweb, KB?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It gave me it was very reminiscent of The Ring, just with the actual horror entity itself.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see
And
that.
that stuff terrifies me to no end. I loved the film. My only critique was I wanted more. Like, it ends kind of abruptly, and I guess that's better than waiting for a movie to be over. But like by the end, you're like, I could have had another 20 minutes at least.
Right.
Yeah, that third act goes wild. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of, I give you Sam with that. Yeah, I love the twists and turns that one took, because you think it's one way, then it goes another way. And that had great like fall vibes. So I said that's going to be a must spooky season staple now going forward.
Yes, and this is not a spoiler, KB, if you ever choose to watch it, but I'm still trying to figure out why they had the whole pumpkin patch in the backyard, because it was just eerie. So
Farmers, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I love that. I love that scene. I said, ooh,
yeah. I'm just gonna check the chat really quick before we move on.
Yeah, Cobweb should have had an epilogue or something.
Maybe they'll do I guess they can't do maybe they could do a sequel. It is a little open-ended. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't need one. Like, I think Talk to Me like lends itself better to a sequel than, because that's
I know they're already talking about doing something else with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Talk to Me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Back to the chat.
Family movies are thriving this year.
I love them.
I would say so. Yeah. Halloween 3 and 5 are ones that I really enjoyed more this year.
Check those
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
I want to check out Last Voyage of the Demeter.
I liked it. I liked that
I
one.
need to see it again.
You
I
know,
was in a bad mood, and then I got COVID that night, so just
Oh my god.
just bad memories with that movie.
Yeah.
Cursed. Yeah. It was a good addition to Dracula.
Yes.
Oh, you okay?
yeah, sorry.
Let's see. Go ahead. Yeah. She's having too much fun.
It's the feathers. The feathers are just getting to her.
It
Oh,
hits.
that's a good one. Halloween too. Yeah.
Wait, which one though? We talking
Oh.
newer ones? I would think not. Nobody
Yeah,
mentioned
no.
Zombies Halloween 2. I really like Cobweb, but I think they kind of messed up with the release date for that as well. Yeah, we just recently
Too
got
early.
it, so
Yeah, too early. Yep.
too early. As well as, let's see, need a Sam tattoo. Can you imagine?
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Would salute anybody who did that.
I know, right?
I am tattooless, so is Tracy. So we got to get a good one. And I'm thinking, is that Sam from Saw Wayne, the SAMHAIN word?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
They're like trying to linguistically fit that in.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be Sam for some, even though Sam's just a cute name, anyways.
Yeah.
How's it
Well, hey,
going,
Mike.
everyone? Hey, Mega Mike.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I have one little bit of this
Oh, that's cool.
but it's definitely like not a real hat. This is a promo practically.
Promo.
Cheap little merchandising, but still, I can get anything I take. Love true. And recently, the sequel was just announced, so let's hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. I apologize for choking over here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good question. Thanks, Dilated Entertainment, for all the chats today. What movies everyone watching? Is that a one we can jump into?
Yeah. Mika said she's watching Halloween.
Yep. OG. Yep. The
Are you
OG.
doing anything else besides that one? Or you think just
We'll see. Probably for now, just that one, and then we'll see.
no? Absolutely.
Can't overdo it. You gotta have time to eat candy.
Yeah. We're gonna throw something on. We're gonna be going out later, but I just we'll definitely we'll put something on. So it'll probably be something we've seen before.
You guys doing a Halloween, like a Halloween party?
Yeah, well, we're just meeting a friend at a place that's doing like a
dancing.
Yeah, like a dancing type of thing. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's very hocus pocus when the parents go to the.
We're gonna make sure of it.
The Sanderson sisters better show up and.
I love Holly. You see them every year now.
Yes.
A trio always comes out. It's perfect.
Oh, that's awesome. I know you guys have to like up here Salem. They always have the trio running around. If you can do Salem and Halloween, it's so great.
It's the perfect
that's
area.
So cool.
Mhm.
We recently did. We went to what is it called? I was about to say Spooky Hollow, Sleepy Hollow. So that was cool. They had like the Headless Horseman Bridge. That I guess is not the original one because it probably had to be redone over the years and things like that. And it's where the the writer of the book lived, Washington Irving. Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
It's a chill vibe.
Yeah, and it's not that far from New York. It's like a 40-minute ride. So
yeah,
up through the Hudson Valley.
Yeah. Pretty easy. Oh my gosh, it's snowing in Chicago.
What?
We haven't gotten above 30 all day, so I'm surprised we didn't get any kind of flurries or anything here.
I know. Yeah, we dropped. That temperature dropped. It was like 80 this weekend and dropped the temperatures.
Yes.
You're getting what we had a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't break out those comforters fast enough, boy. We were just like.
Dilated Entertainment says Halloween 281 for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Only.
Yes. So annoying. Rob Zombie Halloween 2018 Halloween.
That's so true.
Yeah, because they're all
Call
named the
them
same
Halloween.
thing. Yeah.
There will be a reboot. We'll love that.
Yep.
I like the way he named them from least to best.
Ooh, good pick.
True. That is true. Yeah. We watched Carrie the other night, and
Yep.
my goodness, that is an intense movie.
Yeah.
whew, I didn't remember like how crazy the mom is, and like, and it is not there's really no redemption. I mean, there's redemption, but it's like sad that she just dies with her mom in the house. Like, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great film. That's one we watched this month too. We usually watch that one every October as well too. Yeah.
Yes.
King classic.
Yes. Well, and actually, one of the ones on your list, Mika, that because I know you put your list out on Instagram, I believe, of recommendations, and I had never seen It Follows, and I loved it.
Oh, so good, so good. Yeah,
yes, he's pulling it out.
Oh
Loved
yeah.
it.
Oh, I got that.
This is
What?
so
Is that
good.
really what it looks like? That's awesome.
Yeah, I had to get that too. Woo!
Yeah, it's so good.
I
And
love
now we got the
it.
sequel coming.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I'm
so
excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I just this is one of my favorite horror films, if I'm modern day horror. And we love Micah Monroe. I just love her. I think she's a new kind of scream queen as well. So you guys loved it?
Loved it, yeah. Yeah. And it didn't even need to be like overly scary anything. I just felt like the direction was so smart, and it was such a smart concept. It really was.
Yeah, the music, the atmosphere, the story is just awesome. I love the whole vibe of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It hit so right.
Yeah.
Chilling. It just made me be like, oh God, what if that was real? Can you imagine?
And that's one that you can really I would like to see more, like where it goes with the story, because that's one you can kind of go a lot of places with. And I'm so glad that Micah, they said she'll be back too, so that's great.
Yay. Fantastic. Yeah, there's a YouTuber, he's gigantic, and he does like the film theories and game theories and things like that. And he did a video that was like, how would you be able to like logistically survive It Follows without passing it on to someone else? And they were like, if you're rich, obviously you can just fly to another country. but if you're not, you'd have to get a job. Like, he did all of the math of how fast the thing walks and like at the pace and where it goes. Like,
that's cool.
It's a trip. It's like, so you'd have to make sure your commute to work is like this length amount of time, but then also to the point where like as soon as you're about to leave from work, then it has to come back, and it's like 11 hours at your house. I mean, it's crazy.
It's like a GPS.
That concept though, oh my God, I probably would have to take myself out, because that's just too much, and like worrying and
ends with me.
I'm done. I'm not doing all this.
And then your luck, the coroner has like some kind of necrophilia kink, and it continues.
I know. Right? Yeah. we said Kira and us, me said we probably can confuse it. Maybe they wouldn't know which one it was.
True.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's so funny you said that, KB, because one of the suggestions or like theories was like, well, if you like, I know this is gross, but if you potentially did it with an animal, but then the animals are probably going to just die. So then it's like, then it's back to you again. I think that's the best trick of the movie. That's like, yeah, if it was just like, oh, you pass it on, that's the fact that is like person dies that after you gave it to them, then it comes back to you and it goes all the way down the ladder. That's the craziest part of the whole concept.
Had so many theories.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, check that out. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, I just say I'd probably be like that beginning scene, just kind of waiting on the beach and let's go. You know what I mean? Because
it gives me chills just thinking about it.
I wanted to bring up to you, and this is a really obscure movie, but Max had seen it a really long time ago, and he wanted to show it to me. And it's called it's not a common one. So if you haven't seen it, don't feel bad or anything. It's called The Last Horror Show, right?
Horror movie.
The Last Horror Movie.
Put out by Fangoria. I saw it at a film.
What year is that?
04, I want to say 05.
The Last Horror Movie?
And it's I think it's
no, well, it says 2003. Yeah.
03. I'm wrong, yeah.
But maybe you saw it at the festival in 05.
Well, no, I might be misremembering because
I don't think I saw. Oh no.
It took me a while to get it on DVD because it was just like, oh, remember that movie we saw? And I finally copped it, and we saw some trailers on the DVD of some movies, and boy, it's like back in the day, these weren't even established stars. Like the girl from Handmaid's Tale was in some early indie horror film, and they all
Really?
have to start somewhere. Yeah, pretty low budge, but kind of in the early stages of the found footage before all Paranormal Activity. But yeah.
Oh, cool. I just looked it up too. Yeah, indie horror film, 2003. I'm gonna add it. I haven't seen this.
It really hinges on the main character, and it's just a little tiny film I ended up loving. Try to spread the word. There's so many out there going to make it to Blu-ray, never going to make it to 4K.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't get picked up by some digital service, and they'll be lost forever.
Yeah, I don't remember what I rated it on Letterboxd, but I feel like if I was going to, I'd say like a 3.5, 3.5. It's just a really interesting concept, and it's very low budget.
It really asks like why we watch sick movies and like be watching, and like the whole gore porn era of horror film, why we all like to watch that. It's really interesting.
Well, now, did you watch it streaming? Did you watch it streaming?
Possibly. I've just always on the DVD, so I've never looked into it. I really do hope.
Okay.
That would be great.
Maybe it's on like Shudder or something.
Right. You can imagine Shudder has it.
True.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for sharing that.
Yes. And then actually, let's see here. And then once Jacquelina gets here, we're gonna get into like really fun just overall Halloween questions in general. Yes. Oh yes, I wanted to ask you guys. Have you? Oh, Jacquelina's here. Oh my goodness, she looks so adorable.
Aww.
So I'm gonna add her to the stage. Coraline.
I'm here. How are you guys?
Oh, great. I love the costume.
Very cool.
It's been a long day. Yeah, so I had to do a work thing this morning, and then I have my nieces and nephews coming over tonight. So I really have been in this since last night, and I haven't really been able to get out of it. But yeah, it's been a busy day, but I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry I'm late. Didn't mean to be.
No worries.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. And I had Mika and KB both kind of do a little, just tell the chat who they are if they don't know you already. And I'm just going to put you on solo really quick. We're so thrilled that you're here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Hi, everybody. I'm Jacquelina Horror, aka Caprice. And I love horror movies, but I'm also a lover of film in general. Any genre is good with me. And I'm so glad to be here with all of you guys, especially on such a special day. It's Halloween. We waited so long. Everyone in the horror community has waited for today, even though we live this day 365 a year. It's just the day. So I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm excited to hear what we're going to talk about.
Oh, fantastic.
Great to have you.
365.
Well, before we move on to some fun Halloween questions, I want to ask you, Caprice, just two things that I did ask both Mika and KB. Anything in the month that you watched that was new, like a first-time watch that you loved? And then also, what is something that you always return to every time this year?
Did I see? I actually saw some pretty brand new things this month, stuff that I usually don't dive into, mostly for movie swaps and movie conversations like that. Though there are two that have really stuck with me this month. One of them was for a movie swap that I did with Mr. Dell on Movies. It was a movie called Dumplings.
Wow.
It kind of opened up a lot of things for me. And when I was talking to him on Movie Swamp about it, I kind of got into, I don't usually dive too far into the foreign horror movie thing. I haven't really ventured into that yet. There are some that I have seen for things that I have planned in the future, but it wasn't any like unknown stuff. It's stuff that I've heard from everybody in the community, basically as recommendations. But that I've watched it 4 more times since then.
Oh, wow.
It's as me and Del talked about, it's not a movie for everybody, but it's definitely a watch. And another one that I just haven't been able to stop raving about. KB knows about this already. It's the Maniac remake.
Oh yeah.
I am in love with that movie right now. If I could watch it every day and not feel like a weirdo, I would.
You're studying.
I literally feel like I'm studying this movie and that it needs its own masterclass. Yeah, I'm in love with this movie right now for multiple reasons. I've been recommending it left and right. You know, I kind of feel like I'm the spokesperson for this movie at this point. But I feel like I need to start writing some letters to people. Movies that I always come back to, especially around this time. Like I said, I have nieces and nephews now. The youngest is about 3 weeks old. The oldest is 6 months old. So I kind of got a wide range of movies that, you know, I kind of go back to that are kid friendly. But movies that I always go back to at this time, no matter what, are my near and dear and beloved Universal monster movies. My creature from the Black Lagoon, KB's already smiling. He already knows. My Dracula, my Frankenstein. Even ones that I don't usually like as much, like say like the Wolfman was a favorite of mine growing up, but now I love it. It's so good. And I kind of forget, you know, I think people kind of forget, you know, with all the different horror movies and all the different genres that are out there right now, that these classic monsters are the ones that started it all, for all of it. I just kind of get forgotten a lot of the time. So I actually have them all upstairs, ready to go, next to the player, just depending on what night I'm feeling. I just put them in. Creature was watched last night after I got home. Invisible Man was watched this morning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's you know, I don't know what the family's going to say tonight, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I always go back to those, and I'm also a big fan of the like the old cartoons, like Garfield's Halloween, Charlie Brown Halloween. There's a few other ones that I just can't think of at the moment. Witch's Night Out. That's an old one. And another one that we watch with the kids is called The Worst Witch.
Grand Wizard.
It's got Jim Curry and all of his beautiful wizardry. And yeah, it's so fun. The little kids are starting to love that one a lot just because it's so colorful and you know, I don't think they know what's going on really, but you know, I think when Curry comes on, they start dancing around and it's just, you know, it's all in good fun.
Have you ever gotten into the Hammer horror films? I know they're a bit more adult, but I never started. The Hammer horror films from the UK? Are they garbage?
No. They're not garbage. They're just very British. They're the best way that I can put it. It's very British.
European.
Yeah. So it's still very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll check them out.
I love that you mentioned the OG classic monsters, and we just noticed they're all able to be streamed on
Peacock.
On
Because they're
Peacock.
Universal.
Yeah, Universal. Makes sense.
Love the collection.
They're all there. It's great.
The failed reboot, though. How do we feel about that? Of all like the monster, what was it called? The Dark Universe?
The Dark Universe.
I think they picked the wrong places to begin. Like before the pandemic, if they did Invisible Man, that would have been good.
Yeah. The Invisible Man remake was so good.
Yeah.
They brought back that old Universal horror movie in the best way. And then I feel I'm not hating on anybody or if anyone enjoyed this movie or not. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that the Mummy remake with Tom Cruise went completely wrong.
Oh no.
And I'm just saying anything that Tom Cruise puts his hands on, he wants to turn it into a Tom Cruise action movie, and that's not what this was about. But what made it. And it really put a damper on all of it, in my opinion.
He killed it.
Well, notoriously, with the Tom Cruise one, and you actually enlightened me on this, when the studio released the trailer online, they screwed up the audio, and it's It's just like all the ADR, and that's it. So it's just like no music, it's no nothing. It's just hearing like like the whole time.
Yes, it's quite comical. At the end of the commercial, they're doing a scene in a plane, and it's barrel rolling, and all you hear is Tom Cruise screaming, and it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I remember watching it, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And then I just heard the scream, and I'm like, I'm like, is this Tom Cruise screaming in a barrel rolling plane? And I was just like, I might go see it just for this.
Just for that.
Just for that.
Nobody needs it.
Can't save it.
No one needed it, no. But I feel like if they kind of step back and maybe even redo The Mummy the way that it was supposed to be, continue with the vision that they originally had, I feel like the Dark Universe would actually be very successful. And they just need to restart it with Invisible Man being the par for that.
Blumhouse through Universal.
Yes, and now that Guillermo del Toro is doing Frankenstein, you know,
that's gonna be great. I already know. I love him.
We all do.
I'm kind of content with calling this the Guillermo del Toro universe. I'm content with calling that the Dark Universe. I'm happy with that. I'm overjoyed about that, and that is doing it right. Tom Cruise should have never been added into the mix, like, at all, but he was.
So we're gonna get back into movie talk. We're gonna pivot briefly because I have a question for all of you. What was your earliest memory of trick or treating, and what were you? And we can start with Mika, and then we'll do clockwise. We'll do Mika, KB, and then Caprice.
Early costumes.
Oof. Let me see. What was probably like, I'm trying to think. Well, one year my mother did like these homemade things, and it was so weird because my mother really wasn't big into trick-or-treating. Like, she was all about like, no, people just can come to our house, or like not letting us go out. So we really didn't do trick-or-treating that much. I think that's why I actually got into horror, because she just had us watch horror movies at home. You know, it was like we grew up in the city. We grew up in Newark, and you know what I mean? If it just was like really not doing trick-or-treating. But the one time I can remember, I used to like the cartoon Sheena. Do you guys know Sheena? That cartoon? So Sheena? Yeah. Yeah. I think I went one year as that, and then like a ghost, from what I can remember. It was because it was just a handful of times we really didn't do trick-or-treating, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the question really could be either, you know, just really your earliest like costume Halloween memory. So that definitely works. It doesn't have to be trick-or-treating, for sure.
For me, same situation. You know, we didn't really go trick-or-treating too much in Brooklyn, because it's like, who do you trust? Who do you know?
I was like, oh no.
But I do remember like having like a Superman costume, and there's a very funny meme going around right now showing like 70s Halloween costumes with the vinyl mask, and not even like the uniform, but just like a colorful plastic overlay. And that was the costume for us back in the day. You know, had the S on the chest, and we thought we were Superman, but it was just like Missy Elliott in that video, just like a big garbage bag, you know.
Would say SUPERMAN.
Yeah, they spelled it out. They didn't even just put the S with the logo. But I will say this: I do have fond memories. I think I was like 11 or 12, and you know, neighborhood just getting way too bad, crack epidemic, everything. And my youngest aunt at the time decided to throw us a Halloween party, just my cousins, me, whatever. And she made a cake and somebody cut out of it, but none of us would admit. So instead of getting mad, she just frosted it and became a Pac-Man cake.
Oh, awesome.
It was like the coolest thing. And then, we all said we did it, just to save each other or whatever. But it was cool. We had candy, we had music, we had all the Kool-Aid we wanted. It was a great party. And we were just hanging out. She got all our favorite candy. We didn't have to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's so fun.
I love that.
Love that.
So cool. Hey, Caprice?
For me, Halloween was huge in my house. My dad was all about going to find the good neighborhoods that had the good candy, and my mom and my dad, they would be in the car and they would do the one house drive, with the car. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm older, I'm just like, that was so pointless. Like, just like getting in and out of the car, every single house, like it was awful. But we would always go to the good neighborhood, which was my grandma's neighborhood. She lived in a town called Rollingwood, and all the houses had like the regular size candy bars. They weren't they were the king size candy bars.
Yeah.
And they weren't giving out like the little bitty candies, like and so when you got home, the parents would go through the bag and they would take all the good stuff and they would use the fun size ones and they would just call it the tax. And then but my mom and dad were really big on us making our own costumes. Most of my costumes, I'd say almost every single one, I've kind of either made myself or combined things to make the costume. But there was one costume that I had, and I wore it for like 5 or 6 years, and it was a Snow White costume.
Oh,
bring it back.
And I really grew up in this costume because when they bought it, it was already a little too big for me. But my dad really wanted me to have it, and he was like, you need to wear this. This is you. It's a little big. You'll grow into it. It's fine. And so, yeah, I ended up wearing it for, I want to say about 5 years. I wore it for about 5 years, and then finally it kind of just like gave out, but it was like a Disney exclusive, like Halloween costume back then, and it was a big deal to have it. And so he wanted me to have that. And so for a while I didn't make my own costumes, but after that, I haven't really bought a costume since then. I've made costumes because I kind of want that to be my costume, that's mine. And so when my niece was about 4, she got her first Snow White costume. So it kind of turned into like a little, and I don't know if you guys have seen her. She's been posted on my personal Instagram a few times. She looks just like me. And so to see her in the outfit was kind of a little reminiscent. I'm like, I passed my little Snow White torch to my little one. And so she found a picture of me in the Snow White costume, and she was kind of like, oh my God, that's Auntie. Auntie is Snow White. So yeah, that costume was probably my longest reigning one. 5-6 years strong.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's so cute.
And it was so funny because I had messaged a few people because I was having a really hard time picking what I was going to do this year. And I gave 3 options, and Snow White was one of them, weirdly enough. And I was going to actually buy one just to have it again. But another costume got voted, but then something happened in transit and I lost 2 pieces of it. So last year, something else. Yeah. And here I am.
I saw one of your options was it Velma too, right?
It was Velma, and the other one was Dorothy, and the other one was Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. That was also a recommendation from my niece. And so Velma had ultimately won.
Yeah, I did Velma. I had picked Velma too. I was like, I voted Velma. Yeah.
A lot. And so I ordered the costume. I ordered it in pieces. So there was a top, pants, tights, all of it. I get a notification Sunday saying, "Oh, the top is running late."
Oh.
Like it was the main part, right? Like
Yeah.
and then I get a notification later on in that night saying, "Pants running late. They're not Thursday." So now I have a pair of red pants that
It's so 20s.
I'm not gonna wear because I don't wear
Start
red
planning for
pants.
next year.
Yeah, next year.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
save
next
it.
year, yeah, next year.
You're going Belmont.
I know. Maybe she'll make a random show up somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ooh, some convention.
Well, I'd love to ask you, Max, what
Yeah.
your earliest Halloween memory is.
I was lucky enough to have a grandma who was good with the sewing machine. So I remember a Ninja Turtles one and
Oh, that's cute.
a variation on Batman called the Silver Bat. And I tried to keep as much of this as possible and wore it pretty much after Halloween and all the time. But I think, like, maybe not earliest, but I think I made like a male version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And this is back in the Christy Swanson days.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
a boy
OG.
Buffy, I guess.
Oh, awesome.
I'm sure everyone's just like, what? Good memories.
Bradley the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I like that.
Cheers. What about you?
Yeah, I guess when I was really little, I guess there were a couple times. Like I remember once I was, I think Belle and my dad was like the Beast, and I remember we went to like the mall because I was really little, so you do like trick or treating really early in the day. But they told him to take his mask off because you can't wear masks in a mall. So I remember being like, "Well, then your costume's all screwed up now." And then I did break my leg when I was like 6, and it was right before Halloween, and I didn't choose this costume, and I think my mom chose it to just be like super positive. So I was a sunflower, and I remember going to this like community event, and I had like a cast on, but I was like a sunflower, and there's like games and things like that. And it's like so trying to not overcompensate, but like try to make it like, oh, you're a sunflower.
Make it
So
work.
yeah,
It worked.
yes. I'm gonna just go into the panel, or not the panel, the chat really quick before we get into more Halloween spooky
So
fun
many
questions.
Cool peeps.
Okay, we have Luke is
wow.
here. Thanks for stopping by, Luke. Happy Halloween.
Hello,
Yes,
hello.
Mega Mike, it's getting a sequel, that's for sure. We've got Fritzy, hey,
Hola.
and Tiana. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Hey.
I'm gonna actually star this because this is a question that's a good one for everyone, so I'll do that.
Cool.
Let's see. Speaking of underseen gems, the film I brought your attention, by the way, Tracy, was called Free on Meds.
Did you get the second sight? Yeah.
No way.
Whoa.
Oh, I love that.
One of my favorites, and I'm glad it's starting to get love because
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
What
You
year?
know, try to put me on it.
What year did that come out? Do you know how
Ooh,
often?
maybe, I can't think off the top of my head. I think it was 2000s.
Oh, wow.
It is
Like
streaming
20
on Tubi right now for free. as
Yeah,
well.
it is. Yep, with Angela Bettis as the star.
Oh,
But it's so good.
She looks like a different actress. Wow.
I actually saw that one for
2002.
recently, but it was in the last couple months for the first time, and I love it.
Oh, I
If you
love
haven't,
it. So good.
Pluto's great.
recommend watching it.
I've been writing these down, by the way. I wrote what Mika said, dumplings and the Maniac remake. So now I'm adding May to the list.
Is Dumplings like Pixar's Bow short film?
No.
Nowhere near. I wish.
This one, well, I'll put this up first. Hammer films are great for the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Lord.
Through the lens.
Rise and shine.
Hello, Josh. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hello.
Hey.
Laren is here. Tracy, Max, maybe.
Lauren.
Laren.
Love it. Hard copy blues. Ben.
What's
Hey,
up?
man.
Happy
Ben.
Halloween, panel and chat. My boys are getting ready to go trick or treating now as Superman and Chucky. That's so cute.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he said one of his sons is like like the little one, I think, is like obsessed with Chucky right now. So
Watch out.
yeah, watch out.
That's awesome.
This is actually a specific question for you, Caprice, that someone wrote. We kind of touched upon it a little bit earlier, but with a name like Draculina, I need to know your thoughts on Last Voyage of the Demeter, worthy or not.
Yep.
I know.
I saw the.
You just,
My thoughts on it. I hated it.
Hot
And you know, I don't want to say I had high hopes going into it, but deep down I kind of did. You know, this is kind of a very well known story. It's Dracula. You know, you're hoping for the best. You know, and it dragged for me. The actual scenes that he's in were not worth it to me. I did not like the look of him in this movie. If you didn't know the background of it and you didn't know anything about it, then I could see how maybe it would be like a fun little maybe horror action movie. To me, I wouldn't recommend it personally. I will say, always go and see something and form your own opinion of it. For sure, because I do know some people who did enjoy it. Me personally, though, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I went as far as to reread the chapter that it's based on the night before. I was just laying there in bed. I couldn't fall asleep, so I'm like, it's public, so I just read it quickly online, and then I went to see it, and I didn't expect it to be, chapter and verse kind of thing, but I don't know. I just wanted more, especially great actors, and I just wanted more.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was kind of one of those movies that all the best parts were in the trailers already.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and I agree. The acting I thought was fantastic, and it felt like everyone was kind of underutilized. And I just still can't get over the fact that they just never left during the day. I think that was just, I mean, you're taking a chapter that takes place in one night, right? And then you're expanding it into multiple days, and it's like, I maybe they could have just done a really tight bottle episode of just that night, and that would have made a lot more sense.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just me yelling at the screen for an hour.
Damn you, tomato.
Laren, all of you look amazing, but Max says, "Hef, is there a chef's kiss emoji?" Dell is here. What's up?
Hey, Dell.
Look at this amazing panel. Fantastic.
I love it.
Yes. Holland Oates is saying candy tax parents prepping you for life.
Right? And they took all the good stuff too. Very you for life.
Like, you don't want this king size Reese's.
No.
Right?
He also said, one of my earliest Halloween memories is dumping a ton of candy and some apples on the table after trick-or-treating so mom could check the razor blades. 70s kids.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's that queen's life.
Yep.
Did that end up being like a hoax and like that never actually happened, or did it actually happen?
No, it happened. What was the hoax was the whole, well, even today, people like, oh, they're putting fentanyl in the kid. I'm sorry, nobody's giving you a kid
free drugs.
I'm sorry, so I don't care if it's
free value
edibles. They're not wasting their money on that.
I know.
They're giving it to their friends the Saturday night before at the club.
I had this conversation last night, and I'm like, nobody who is buying edibles is like, hey, let's give these $40 edibles to these kids. And
it's another value. No,
you're philanthropist.
They're not doing it. It's not happening.
Alternate universe.
Not even there. Still too expensive.
We have a couple more questions that are, just fun Halloween stuff. Well, this one I got to ask all of you. This is actually very specific, but I think all of us have seen at least a handful or at least one of the Saw films.
Hmm.
Is there a game that Jigsaw would give you out of all of those that you've seen that you'd just be like, nope, I'm just gonna end myself?
Probably all of them. Probably all of them. Because even watching the new one, Kira and I, it's so funny. We always said like, I just would have to die because I cannot see myself doing any of that, like cutting limbs or so. No, I say like all of them. I'm just like out for the count.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few that I'm kind of like. I'll come back to the needle pit.
Oh,
Just snatch me out. I ain't even I'm not even playing with that. There was, I don't know if everyone here has seen Saw 10 yet. Has anyone? Everyone, KB hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen anything in the movies this month.
I know he's been doing a conversation.
He's out. But yeah, there's one in Saw 10 where I was like, I couldn't do that. And even I'm surprised, like, yeah,
no way. Yeah, that's
like,
mine. I could never do that.
Like,
No, I was even on the arms one. I just like the right off the bat. I'm like, no.
that one, and it's just like, how? Okay, so you're in there. What if you hit the wrong thing and you get? Like, I was pretty sweet just at that one, but yeah, I always come back to the needle pit, like. Even though I know there's so many worse traps, like I know we're just, I can't
do needles either.
No,
I can't. And just the way. And did you guys know? Fun fact about that scene. So there was actually a box of real needles that got thrown in there by accident into the pit. The director and the actress, they were very adamant that they didn't want any actual needles in this pit, so they de-needled all the needles that were in there, and by accident one box of needles got thrown into that pit. They had to remove everything and try to find needles in a haystack and find these real needles so that they could de-needle them so that nobody would actually be punked.
Wow.
Like, and they literally caught that day of shooting. Like, these needles are unaccounted for. I think they're in the pit.
Well, we'll move on to a happier question. What is everyone's favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, I like candy corn. I'm really bad with that. I can eat that so I get sick.
So, question, because you said candy corn. So there's Brock's candy corn, and then Jelly Belly has candy corn as well. And we tried the Jelly Belly one, and it tasted nothing like that, and it was gross. Actually, I don't know if you have a preference though. It was just gross to us. So
yeah, I don't like the Jelly Belly. Yeah, no, but I can eat it even the ones that's like pumpkins. I have an obsession with. Yeah, I can just eat them till I get sick. It's like really bad. Yeah.
Miss the triangle ones. I'm like, no, they don't.
Oh, I know, I love them. Yeah, but it's bad. It's like a big bags.
I've never been a fan of candy corn until somebody threw a pack of peanuts in it, and it tastes like a Payday bar.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay, I could rock with this.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, dangerous.
My favorite is 100 grand.
Ooh.
Mine
is
the Snickers bar.
Ooh, Snickers bar. Oh yeah, that's dangerous too. Yeah.
Frozen especially. Love a frozen.
Ooh, yeah.
My Nana used to do that. She used to freeze candy bars like that, and I've never done it, but it sounds.
I do that. Yeah, I like my chocolate like cold. I always put it in the refrigerator.
Better than a Hershey bar out of the freezer. I don't care. Maybe a frozen Snickers, but it's
I like it cold. Yep.
That's awesome. So my next question to you guys would be, if Freddy, Jason, and Michael were all in a fight, who would win? And I'll start with who. I mean, I guess we could do. We don't have to do clockwise like we have been, but unless if you need time to think about it, Mika.
Well, I already know where I'm going because.
Okay, cool. So
my boy Michael. Yeah, I'm always Team Michael, so that's my pick. Yes.
I'd probably say the same thing because he's not a person. Jason's a person. I guess Freddy's not a person anymore either. But yeah.
Cool.
Now he'll be the last one to catch me though, because
Hell yeah.
you're not the fastest moving dude.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
run
right.
like I'm doing high school track again, you know.
I know. Yeah, he give you some time to get some good cardio, hopefully ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Well, I'll have to go with that too. I mean, we've already seen Freddy and Jason fight each other. We saw where that went. So maybe if we add a little bit of the boogeyman to this week, like, I would agree. Yeah. I'm confident.
Let's add Sam to the mix.
Yeah.
Just climb up on top of them.
Awesome. And then have any of you had to ever shut off a movie because it was too much for you?
Too spooky.
Too spooky? Too intense? Too gory?
Maybe.
I put out a video earlier today about the Rad 9 movies that scared us, and I was talking about the movie Demons.
Oh, I love Demons.
I have to watch the whole thing. I have to watch the sequel, but it was during that time when my cousin and I would just rent like a bunch of horror movies, you know, the 2 for $2 Tuesdays and blah blah blah. And we were watching Faces of Death before that. So we were like totally desensitized. But then something about when they went into the theater and the transformation started taking place, I felt like he was getting spooked and he was looking at me and he saw I was, and he just did like this. He was like, take it off. Take it off. And I was like, I'm taking it off. I'm taking it off. And we turned off the movie and never watched it again.
Oh, you know, KB, that's actually because I go through rotations with movies I fall asleep to. I'm actually on my Demons kick. So I put that one on every night and then go right to sleep. The movie playing in the background.
You're too much with that.
I've heard that one is really scary. I haven't seen it, but I like for years I've heard like, oh my god, that movie.
I just see the visuals, especially the eyes and the scene through the theater where they run in and you see the eyes. Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
80s flick or is that foreign?
I think it's 80s, right?
Yeah. It's a Fulci movie, right?
Not to be confused with Night of the Demons.
No. That's different. That's fun. But I think it's Argento.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
We got
It's
it.
a good one. I love it. Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed to say this now. I was young, so don't hate me too much. But Child's Play.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I couldn't do it. My dad, we used to go to Hollywood Video, and he would find the VHS cover of Child's Play 2, you know, the close-up picture, and he would chase me around the Hollywood Video in hysterics. It was just the scariest damn thing. I did not watch a Chucky movie until I was 19.
Wow.
That was Bride of Chucky. That was in a theater. And I literally got dragged into the theater. I got tricked. They said it was something else.
Oh my God.
And so starting out with that one, you know, that one's funny. It's nothing, but watching it backwards, backwards after that, and I made my way to one. Even now, some of the scenes I kind of close my eyes a little bit because I'm just like, can you imagine being a child and seeing that? Like, like the scene that gets is the scene where Andy's in the mental hospital already. He's in the room. He's like, you know, please come and get me. And he looks out the window and you see him climbing up.
Yeah, that's just freaky. Yeah.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, and you're like trapped, and you know you come in. Yeah.
How do you get out? You have to get out of that, and no one's believing you. And seeing, like, you know, I'm a girl. I had dolls all over my house. Like what the hell? Like, what am I gonna do now? Like, I had to sleep in this room after this. Like, are they doing this when I'm not around? And then Toy Story came around, and
it's not safe.
It's
Yeah.
nothing.
So-
There's nothing you're hearing. But yeah,
Did Mika?
mine
Did you? I'm so sorry. Did you have? Did you go?
The only one I can think of, because I think the earliest horror movie I remember watching is The Exorcist, and that's not really one like as a child. It just freaks me out. It's still one of the few horror movies that still bother me though. Like when I watch it, it still has the same effect. I think of being like a lot of possession movies do that for me. But yeah, that one is one of the first ones I remember watching. So that one really kind of terrified me. It still does. It still freaks me out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and back when I was a kid, they would have a lot of these films just on either I don't know if it was Comedy Central or TNT or whatever, but they'd show these. I don't know if they would do The Exorcist per se, but I definitely remember like a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street ones and the Child's Play movies. And I would see like clips of those, and it just like I didn't watch the whole thing because it was just like browsing, but it was like traumatizing.
Oh yeah. And then when you revisit them later, I can see you revisit them later, you remember like watching and being terrified. Because another one is Night of the Demons, which when I watched that later, I was like, oh my God, this scared me, but that freaked me out too, watching that younger, and they were gliding through the hallways. It just jacks me up too, that movie. And now it's one of my favorites. It's so fun.
That's what happens.
Not a good 4K release.
I know, I still gotta grab that one,
Mm-hmm.
And the next question for this incredible panel, and then we'll do a little bit of chat, and then we'll go back. But what are the? Is there like a horror score that you love the most, that you might even put on during this time of year?
Or a pop hit.
Yeah, or music or Halloween music. It can be either.
I'll probably go back to my OG Halloween, because Carpenter is amazing. So I go with that. I love his scores, but I just love that one.
We saw an interview with John Carpenter recently, because he's promoting a book, actually, I believe. And he said like if he could just do music from now on, like he'd be fine, because it's like he loves it and it's just so much less pressure than directing. So he's like, everyone's on your back when you're a director. He's like, I just want to make the music for the movie.
Oh yeah, he likes directing. What's it called, virtually, or like through a Zoom?
He is directing something for I think it's like for Amazon.
Peacock's Suburban Stories.
Oh yeah, the Suburban Stories. Yeah.
He got to do that through Zoom. And
is that what he was talking about though? Because I thought it was a new project.
Yeah, Suburban Screams. Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. I have to. That's been on my list too.
Unless he's done something even newer than that.
No, I think it's something newer, and they're filming in a. I don't know what country, but definitely nowhere close.
Estonia.
And they were able to make it so he could direct virtually. And he was like, "Oh, I wish this was happening 30 years ago." It's like I sit in my living room.
Very Carpenter of him.
Yeah, but yeah, we want to watch that documentary series as well. It looks really awesome. KB, anything that you like to listen to?
Same thing. 78 Halloween. Also, even though it's not Halloween-ish, I love the Goblin soundtrack to Suspiria.
Suspiria.
So that always makes an appearance. And then totally on the other side, Vince Guaraldi's Pumpkin Waltz from Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm actually huge on horror movie scores. I have a public playlist on my Spotify that a lot of the people in the community have added to.
Love it.
One of my favorite soundtracks is the Creepshow soundtrack. Something about that soundtrack, it just screams October for me. I don't know if it's the synth, if what it is. It's just every single song on that soundtrack is just a banger. I can listen to that one over and over. I can't go wrong with it. But I also love a lot of some of the new scores. Like It Follows has one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
The Maniac remake again has become a top 5 for me. I love that score. But I always go back. I always go back to that Creepshow release, and I love that one. Love that one. Every Halloween, and also just like KB and Mika said, you can't go wrong with that Halloween score.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really
Yeah. And I love vinyl, but I haven't gotten into the horror vinyl because I think it just would be too addictive. You know what I mean? Like
It's
some
so
of
much.
the artwork, I would be bankrupt. So I said I'm not gonna
been telling you right
it.
now, don't do it.
I know it looks so good, but I said
I'm
let me
already in it. Don't do it.
I know it's tempting me, but I said no. I just stick with my regular vinyl. I'm not even gonna go into the horror because
Seriously.
Just stay over there.
I know.
Nice to look at with your marble vinyl.
And an artist I like is R.L. Grime. He puts out Halloween like remixes every year, and he tends to have like people on his Halloween specials like R.L. Stein and everybody else. It's just like kind of EDM-y, but it can be like bringing back old hits. So
Yeah, it's for like
I like that.
dancing, and I think the one we were listening to 8 earlier, and they had a lot of this stuff from Jordan Peele's Us, so that was cool.
it's like put on a background of a party.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. We're gonna go. I'm gonna tell you the question in advance, and then we're gonna just do a little chat, and then it's a very. I mean, I'm sure we've talked about all your favorites essentially, but I would say ultimate horror movie. It doesn't have to be Halloween related. It can be, but if you had to choose like a favorite of yours, so I'm gonna go to the chat because I know that's a lot of pressure, and I hate being asked questions like that, so I
Take your
apologize.
time.
So there's so many. So
We will judge you.
Dell says food that comes to life terrifies me. So I was shuddering in the theater when Bao played in the theater before Incredible.
Oh my God.
Not joking at all.
It's kind of weird, but sausage party, anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Laren says, thank
Or-
you for calling it Saw 10 Caprice, the true title.
Weird act.
Yeah.
I
Saw
did,
X.
I'm just like, I think
It's like
I
the
say,
iPhone.
I think I say like Saw X10 or Saw 10X.
We all
That
know
works.
that.
That works.
It is so fun.
The box of needles doesn't sound like an accident, but asshole on staff.
How does that happen?
Yeah,
I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Something about Reese's and that gold wrap.
Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces. That's good. Those are good cold
yeah.
too. Cold too. Yeah.
I love the history of E.T. and the Reese's Pieces, and I think I wanted to be part of it, but they were like, no, go to the other candy, this new Reese's piece.
Dell says mini Mr. Goodbar.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I hope Smarties are not being passed
Oh
out.
my God.
Smarties. Oh my God.
Smarties can be bad. I used to do them so much they would bother the root of my mouth. You know,
Yeah.
like the top part. Oh,
Yes.
Sour candies.
Yeah, it's like the sour Skittles. If
Yeah.
you do more than like 5 or 10, it's
corrosive.
like, oh yeah, you're on fire at that point. Gotta finish prepping for tonight, so hopping out. Hope to see you all there.
Floyd House
Yes,
Flake.
Floyd House Flake.
That's
Flake.
gonna be
Floyd.
great.
I know. I
Yeah.
love Floyd. That's gonna be fun.
Well, phenomenal panel. I guess we'll lead it off with Mika. If you have an ultimate scary movie that and then this is great for recommendations. too.
And I feel kind of bad because I always say the same too, but they like are my movies though. Like I really love them, and it's like I said, Alien, OG.
Perfect.
I
Mhm.
just love that. In Halloween, 1978. Like they have two of my favorite final girls, Lori, and Ripley. And Ripley, if I just meet Sigourney Weaver, I pass out. I just love her so much. But those two for me, they just I just have vivid memories of them. And Alien to me, the tension of that, like it takes a while before you see the alien. The tension, you don't know where it is. You confined in space. You can't go anywhere. I just remember that terrifying me, that chest burster scene. I just think they're iconic. So those two, I can never really choose between those. So they just stay tied for my favorite.
Two good haunted house movies, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, haunted space. Yeah.
For me, it's there's certain movies you remember like the first time you've seen it, like where you were and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, same aunt that threw me the Halloween party. I was at her house. We were trying to stay up because they were going to premiere Michael Jackson's Thriller on regular TV, and they showed 1978 Halloween. So I saw the TV version first.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was just like that just like made Halloween night for us. And then the
Mm.
stupid news came on, and we had to wait for Michael Jackson's Thriller after that. But since then, I've been watching that movie, so it's like I feel like, decades just watching that movie over and over again, and it just stays with me. So yeah, that's me.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
I feel the same. You just can't go. I know everybody always says, "Oh, it's overdone." Some people even say it's overrated. It's considered one of the best horror movies for a reason. It's Michael Myers. Like, come on, like forget everything that was made after that. Just love and appreciate that first one. Like it. There's classes and universities just for this movie. Like I say it all the time for certain movies, but it's true. This movie is a master class of its own. I love that movie. I watch it almost every Halloween, but I also am one of those people who will watch. I just, what I was just talking about it, and now I'm spacing on the name.
That happened.
No, I was literally just talking about the soundtrack. Oh, Creepshow. I watch Creepshow too. I just love the comic book look of it. It's so fun. Soundtrack, the colors, the stories. I just love that one. It's a super fun movie. It's not as serious as Halloween. It's something you can maybe even watch with maybe not super young kids, but you can watch it with younger kids. They'd still be scared. But the adults would get a laugh out of it. So those are the two that are kind of on rotation at my house. Halloween and Creepshow.
I know I said that was the last question, but this is tied into it because you all said Halloween in some fashion. Is there a sequel that you all think is like worthy of a good sequel? Or because I know when things go so long, there's some bad ones. If you had to pick a sequel of any of the of Halloween, what would you guys choose?
H2O.
Ooh.
Saw that.
Yeah, we're going last on this one.
Wait, a sequel? I kind of like the timeline with the first one, and I did love 2018. I feel like if you just would have stopped at 2018, that was perfection to me. You didn't have to do the kills or the ends. That was a nice follow-up, and it kind of wrapped up where I would have thought Laurie really would have been in kind of that whole story. So I'll probably go there. The 1978 and 2018.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm with Caprice. Yeah, H2O is like a good sequel to it. I mean, I like Halloween too, but kind of like Hills, nothing really happens with the person in the hospital. So
right.
it's kind of like, we're just giving you the bag. You don't have to do anything. But yeah, H2O, it was kind of like, let's get back in the theater. You didn't like any of the sequels before that. And once again, fond memories of seeing it then, and Steelbook now and everything. So most years, that's what I did. Halloween and then H2O.
Yeah. That was a good showdown one too. I can see where Laurie was there too as well. Yeah.
And then that cut to credits. Just put a bow on it. It's done right there. Stop.
Resurrection shouldn't have happened.
No, it was, you know what it is? It's that scene where she breaks the gate lock and she's just in all of her like Laurie awesomeness, and she just screams his name, and you're like, this is about to happen. Like, this is my girl. Like, she's about to amp him up. Like,
she's done running. She's done running. Yeah.
She's done. Her son is involved at this point. Like, this is it. She's not playing around no more. Like, this is Laurie getting hers. You know what I mean? And people talk so much crap about H2O, and I'm like, you're not seeing the beauty of it.
Yeah, that was really great. Yeah. And I even love too, like how she had Janet Leigh in there, that scene too with the car and everything. That was so awesome. Yeah.
You gotta revisit that.
Laren says, I wish I only watched 2018.
We all feel the same way.
Yeah. That would have been good.
That would have been fine with me.
Yeah, and KB, it's interesting that you brought up how there's not a lot of kills in Halloween 2 because we watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2 last night, and there's really not a lot of kills in that one actually compared to everything else. So
It's like
maybe
But they
people
had a
are,
bigger
being
budget and
safe.
everything too.
Yeah. So I have to say, you guys have just been phenomenal. I love having this panel here. I know the chat loved it as well. We have to thank you from the deepest of our hearts for you joining us today.
Seriously.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your Halloween.
Thanks, guys.
I'd love if everyone could just let everyone know anything that you want to promote for your channel or Instagram. That would be fantastic.
Please.
Oh, who's going?
You go.
Oh, okay. Well,
all at once.
Okay, so at Double Feet Podcast, as you said, you guys, we're going to start working on this consistency. I said, our full-time jobs are crazy. So, like I said, by the time I get back, it's just trying to stay focused. But hopefully, got some. I'm going to be testing out the live streams. Hopefully, we can do a fun one I have with Caprice coming up soon. That'll be fun. So we'll get those going. So just follow us on Instagram to figure out what we got going on.
Fantastic.
KB Loves Movies. Head over to my YouTube channel at the top of the next hour. We have Tony from Basement Blues joining us for the 31st of the 31st conversations in 31 days.
You did it.
You don't understand. I'm playing it low key, but I'm really excited that I actually pulled this off because
Kira was amazed, KB. She said my hat's off to you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Some days I'm like, I want to go to the movies. I want to go see Killers of the Flower Moon. Me, Scorsese fan. Haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen Saw 10. But yeah, tonight's the last conversation of the 31 in a row, and we have Mr. Tony joining us, so it should be a good time. Come and hang out.
Amazing.
Awesome stuff.
Okay. I'm Caprice, aka Jacqueline Horror. This month has been crazy for me. This is probably the most lives I've done since I started my channel. I also am in the same boat as Mika and Kira. I am also working on being more consistent, not just on my Instagram page, but my YouTube channel as well that was created last year. It only has one video on it, and it's my introduction. I've just been
what the hell?
I feel you, Caprice. I feel you.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, there was, long story short, there was a series of videos coming up on that channel. I had made a video. The video was like an hour and something. It was an introduction to my most disturbing films series that I was creating. For everybody who makes videos and lives, you guys know that you guys go through that last little minute right before you're about to upload just to make sure everything's okay. Ended up deleting 25 minutes of my video. And I just haven't been able to recreate it the way it was the first time. But November 10th, they're going to be there. So
yes.
There will finally be a Draculina horror video. It'll be the first video in, again, my series of most disturbing films. The theme for this first chapter is going to be announced on the 5th. So, yeah, that's finally coming. Finally happy with what I made. I feel like it is better than the original one that I made. And so, yes, so look for it on Draculina Horror, my Instagram page, and that'll be announced on November 5th.
Oh, that's super exciting.
Most excellent.
Yes. Everything, in its due time, we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I think. And so that's fantastic.
We'll wait. We're patient.
Yes. Before we say goodnight, I just got to say, because dude who loves movies, Cody just showed up. So we
loves movies.
Yeah.
We're going to get sued.
Yeah. No.
And look what Laren said. Laren said November 10th, Caprice.
Yes.
Snap a doodle.
Yep. Perfect. Well, thanks again, everyone. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hope you all have an incredible Halloween. And next year, I guess, is what we're going to be looking forward to. And keep watching spooky movies throughout the year. You don't have to do them all in 1 month because that doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
365.
Yes.
It's fun to dip in.
You're right.
It's a good place to be.
Well, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you all next time.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.